You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have a right to an attorney prior to or during any question. If you can't afford one, the court will appoint one for you. Do you understand your rights?
When the wolf is at your door, your running's over, that's for sure. He already knows all about you. Cut you down, no matter by you. Now you better walk the line. Real life, real
Warning. This episode of Real Life, Real Crime, the podcast, may contain descriptions of acts of violence or that of a sexual nature and should be for people that are 18 years or older. Heed my warning, people. I do not get the facts of these cases off of the internet or from some television show. The facts I'm retelling you were presented to me by the victims of the crimes or the perpetrators who committed the crimes against the victims. My descriptions of the crime scenes, what I saw with my own two eyes. If you're going to get offended, please turn this podcast off now. Thank you. What's up, y'all? It's Woody Overton, your host for Real Life, Real Crime, the podcast. And today is actually Sunday before Memorial Day. And I am sitting in the home studio, not headquarters studio, but the home in Watson, and I've been hanging out in the pool. I put some meat on the pit this morning at 7 o'clock to smoke because my brother from another mother, OG lifer, who y'all all know, and if you've been on any of your social media to the live shows, etc., he's here in the house, and it is
Joshua Ebarb.
Joshua Ebarb, the only one. Well, let me ask you this. What nationality is Ebarb?
They say we're Indians, but we're mostly mutts, I would say.
Like a mixed breed. So, my entire life, because of the black hair and the nose and everything, my mama swore to God we were Sicilian. She's big in the genealogy.
Right.
Like, traced all our people coming from Corleone's sister, like where the Godfather was done. Our people came from the town of Corleone. And the guy got kicked out with a black hand, showed up in Pierre Park, Louisiana, and he showed up with two bodyguards, right? He opened a general store and a bar room. But so I'm into genealogy, but years later, when that family testing shit came out, I got that for my parents for Christmas, and I got it for Cindy and I came back, I'm like 49.9% German, which is the most you could be in the world. The very first motherfucker ever set foot in Germany in the 80s or whatever it was 49.99. I'm like 0.7% less than him. So my mama's butt hurt. Still 21% Sicilian. But anyway, so but I had never, I do names. I kind of queer about that on OCD, but I was thinking about that last night, and I've never heard the name Ebarb.
There's actually a town in Ebarb right by Zwolle, Louisiana,
really?
Where both of my parents are from.
Okay, well.
So and that's where they say we're Choctaw Apache. But
okay, so the Indian blood.
Yeah.
Did you get any of that casino money?
No. They're not federally recognized, but they are state recognized. So that's how government money goes.
All right. So you are let's tell the people who don't know. How long you been in LP and y'all lifers that's in this parish?
31 years.
Right, 31 years.
So you might as well say I grew up here.
Well, that's probably, I'm about 5 years short of you as a transplant, right?
Right.
And then your beautiful bride is here hanging out with Cindy, and I'm sure they're in the pool doing whatever. And by the way, y'all, we're having a beer and a
a drink, Crown and Coke.
Crown and Coke, whatever. So if you hear us drinking, that's just because it's Memorial Day weekend. But so she's here, and you've raised a passel of kids. Tell me about that.
Well, we met in junior high.
Right. You don't have to tell anything you want to.
Right. Well, I mean, we had a kid when I was 15. She was 14. He's 30 years old now.
That's amazing.
He's been all around the world.
Really?
He was a professional gamer.
Really?
Which I preached against. Yeah, but he went all around the world for like 4 years. Wow. And he made more money than I made.
You talking about gaming like game?
But it was a computer, but it's a game. Right, it was like a shoot 'em up game.
WL, our youngest, he'll be 14 next month. They for like years, like 3 or 4, I don't think I've told you this. 3 or 4 years, they've been paying him to play Fortnite and EA. I don't think it's called EA Sports anymore. Whatever it is, they give him all the bucks, whatever, just to get him.
Oh no!
To do whatever. Like the other night, he actually went to bed early because the new season of Fortnite was coming out, and they wanted him on as soon as the whatever beta got done. So your son did that.
He did it
before. I mean,
30. Man, and he went to Romania.
What?
All kind of like. I want you to imagine that though. I want you to imagine letting your son fly. I don't care what age they are. Right. 25 hours away from you. With the promise of, I'm fixing to make $50,000.
Right, to go play.
Yeah.
What we call it playing, but that they take it serious.
It's
like my son,
super serious.
Yeah, like
20 hours a day.
That would have been equivalent for me, I guess, of chasing girls and drinking beer or football.
Exactly. We just chased the wrong thing.
Right. So that's awesome. And I learned today that you're already a grandfather.
Yeah. We've got 3 grandchildren now. And like I said, he's 30. So it seems weird because I look young, and he's bigger than me, actually. So it's kind of weird. Yeah. He's going through life now, though. So now he has a regular job. He has a regular job doing what I taught him to do. Right. He's surveying, but in South Carolina. Yeah. So that's the drawback, because they're 10, 11 hours away. Yeah,
I get that. So my oldest is 26. Well, she's in South Louisiana right now, just for the moment, to her baby shower. So she's down south working at the Venice Marina, waitressing, which she's always done. And she's like 7 months pregnant or something, and we're having our first grandbaby in August. But she lives in San Diego. So that's going to be a
sucks.
motherfucker, right?
Right.
To have to go back and forth. But that's not, so you have your 30-year-old, who else you have?
23-year-old. He works with me still. He's surveying too. And then I got my daughter, Presley, and she's a dancer.
Right.
She dances for school. She dances like every day.
See, all my sisters were dancers, and I remember when I was real young, having to be hauled to the dance recitals. Then when I hit about WL's age, I was like, let's go to the dance recital, right?
It turns.
We're not talking about strippers. We're talking about, like, these girls are athletes.
Right.
Like, legit. Like, to me, they're more athletes than the cheerleaders are.
You just see the exercise. She has to warm up for half an hour before she gets started twirling for 3 hours. I'm like, no way.
How is it to have 30...
23 and 14. A lifetime.
I already know it is, because I have 26, I think it was 26, 27, 25, 23, and 13.
Okay, that's more of a lifetime.
Yeah, but you got
but like it's literally
So you
80% of my life I've been a dad.
95 or 93?
I think it was 94. Yeah.
All right. Because mine was
94. Yeah.
All right. So we're here, and naturally we came to know each other all through the podcast. And then I saw you when you started being a lifer, and you did so much, and you've always been so proactive, and then you come to the shows, and we became friends.
Right.
But then at O'Hara's last weekend, we really got to hang out.
Right. It was just kind of us.
Right. And chill. And then we're going back to I shouldn't have done all those fucking shots.
I
But
know.
I was good until I started on the shots.
I hear you.
And then but it was cool. And we go back to the hotel, y'all. Guess what? We're staying on the same floor.
Like 6 doors down.
Right.
What's the chances of that?
Because I was trying to walk around anyway and do it. But I told Cindy the next morning, I said, that's a cool motherfucker. And his wife's a beautiful lady and a cool motherfucker. I can just say that affectionately. And without being disrespectful, I said, we need to, start hanging. But that night, you and I talked about, I said, Brian, we need to come on the podcast.
Right.
And you were like, fuck yeah. Not in a wanting to be on a
Yeah,
podcast.
I definitely didn't want to do it.
But you had some shit that you wanted to, you didn't want to do it, but you had something
To say.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And I was like, and we didn't talk about it. We never talked about it. And we started to, and I was like, no. The best shit I've ever done in my entire career
Off the cuff.
on podcasting is don't fucking talk about it. Let's just jam. So
Yeah. So, first of all the lifers, you have to understand that I see every one of you as heroes. And I have this whole time. Like, I'm going to get a little emotional here because you helped solve 2 cold cases in real time. We lit up their phone lines. We lit up their emails.
y'all answer the call to action. That's the truth.
These people were begging for us to shut up.
That's that. Listen, I was in Maui. It was a free trip with Shane McBride and Matt Clark Watch Television. Doesn't matter. And we had got so drunk the night before. I forgot the call to action was coming out that day. And then now he's the head of Channel 2 WBRZ commentary, and he said, Woody, Maripucci's case just got solved, and he said they're literally melting their lines or what have you. And can you give me an interview? I said, motherfucker, I can barely breathe right now. I'm so hungover, and I'm in Hawaii, and I can't do it. But the lifer, he said, your fans are just killing us. So maybe it wasn't. Oh, they made the arrest or something. Maybe
It didn't take long.
I think the episode came out when it was like a 5-part with the family, and then I did the call to action.
Right.
I just wanted to put the human face on Maripucci. That was bullshit, man.
That was. They had the killer. They knew the killer.
Thank God West Baton Rouge stepped up and they did it, and it was because lifers like you, bro, that did it. I can only be one voice.
I know.
Other people got to make the phone lines.
This is the important part about you. Instead of saying me, look at Woody Overton, you say, look at this situation.
Look at the victim.
And hey, can you help? And they did. Yeah. I mean, it makes me tear up kind of.
I still got months right now that what I try to do, Josh, on each one of them is put the human face on the victim. That's why I asked him, the family member said, what's the worst whooping you ever got, which your sister is dead now, murdered. What's the worst whooping you ever got? What was her favorite meal? What's the whatever?
Yeah,
whatever. So
you hooked me.
All can relate
you hooked
to
me.
shit.
Yes, I know.
So I've tried to put the human face on the victim because I already know what's happening,
right?
And then we get to the point where what hasn't been done or has been done, whatever. Fuck, they lost this person now, and then I'm like that. I use my experience on, I'm like, this is fucked, and and something needs to be done about it.
And
that's
you
what
did
I
it.
use, but I couldn't do it without lifers.
Yes.
I have nothing. I would be I can't go. I'm not law enforcement anymore. I can't go solve the cases myself. I have to use the lifers to do it.
The power of the people.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it. Yeah. And in this day and age, it's hard to group anybody to do anything, to believe in one set of principles or another.
Right.
Somehow, you did it. You got these people to care about somebody else.
Yeah.
And that's what chokes me up. Like, if you can do this, then we can do anything. I know you don't like the compliments because you're always deflecting it.
Well,
but you are the instrument for these people to do the work.
Yeah. I never think about it unless I'm seeing someone like you that says that, but I'm not a very good receiver. And I don't do it for the fame or the money or whatever. I literally, like, finally when we got the conviction on David Anthony Burns, I ran out of the courtroom crying.
I know. And somebody said, I was going to mention that because you care.
Yeah.
You put your life,
I do care.
your name, your life, your expertise, everything you could do. The powers that be were against you from the word go. Yeah. You had to, I remember you doing your Facebook Live and protesting just to get,
That's right.
I've watched it since the beginning. So
that's right.
That's why I got involved. I got involved to help you. I seen your deficiencies. There's no way you can talk to 100,000 people all the time.
Yeah. And you know what? You're absolutely right. Yeah, the lifers make me strong where I'm weak, and they carry me and do whatever. But I wouldn't even know, right? So if there's two minds in a room, it's great.
Right.
Look at one thing. If there's 20 minds in a room looking at the same thing, it's even better, right? If there's a million of them, it's even better. But I try to glean because let's go back to it. You said, how do you get people to come together? And I never thought about it like that, but that's the truth. That's what happened. It's not because it's because I took it on and I worked it, but
nobody had to pay attention.
But it's not. It's exactly right. Y'all each individually had to decide, hey, this is fucking wrong.
Right.
And I'm going to fucking step up and do what I can do.
And we did.
We did it from all over the world.
All over the world. Do you know how beautiful that is?
Our listen score globally is 0.05%. That's the best. The 0.00 is the absolute best in the world. And so we're in 167 countries, and I didn't even know they had that many countries. But when we put it out there, but you got to go back to it. You got to have, I'm okay. This is fucking wrong. I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna just do what I do and let the chips fall where they may. And the chips fall where the lifers come in. And I'm like, fuck that.
Jesus.
We're gonna do it.
The chances of this happening, not once, but twice. And also, you did it a third time with Kim Womack's case, but they didn't have no evidence to go by. But you got attention to it.
I got them what they want, the family wanted, which was it's never been investigated, and number two, they never had any media attention, and they got it.
Oh, it definitely got it.
Local news channels. Some cases are never going to be solved. Period.
Right.
Now, like Miss Barbara Blunt's case, that case is so totally solvable. I already know what I know. But the thing is, the ones that are involved are not going to rat on each other. And we're just waiting. And I still believe that God is going one day.
It bothers me too.
I'm going to wake up. I already know. I know everything. One day I'm going to wake up and God's going to say, now it was time. Now roll.
You've done your job. You've brought awareness to it.
But that's the thing. I need the lifers to always keep that in mind. And I'm complacent about it. Not complacent because I think about it every day. I still have a picture beside my bed and stuff. But y'all keep calling in your tips on that. It's just one.
Believe him. He's already proven if we work together, there's nothing we can't do. Nothing.
Yeah, we did. We've done it. We've had success. And then the problem with success is that, especially like after Dateline comes out and all that, then everybody. Bro, I don't think I told you this. Before I was getting like 2 or 3 requests. Before we got the conviction on Burns, I was getting 2 or 3 requests from around the world, people saying, my uncle or whatever.
Right. Oh, no. I talked to him too, so yeah, I know.
And then after Dateline and after going to Memorial, I was getting like 15 requests a day from different people. And these are real people.
Oh, I believe you.
Hurting, man.
I talked to somebody the other day on your channel.
They're hurting. They're fucking, their lives have been ruined, the whole 9 yards. And I'm like, I was getting fucking videos from prisoners inside prison on obviously contraband cell phones. They were like, Mr. Woody, my case is this and this. Can you work it? Total overwhelm. There's no fucking way.
Yeah.
If I had 100 lifetimes, I couldn't work all these cases.
Right.
And I don't know why I got off on that kick,
But no, I'm glad you brought that up, because people, get your information together. Information is what solved these other cases.
right. Hey, y'all, let me tell you about Gobble. All Gobble meal kits are pre-prepped. That means less work for you and less waste in your kitchen. Their meal kits include everything you need so you can save time at the store or just skip that trip entirely. I got the box in and I had 3 different meals. I had a Kung Pao chicken, crispy fish tacos, and a beef bourguignon, however you say it. But let me tell you about the classic beef bourguignon. Look, it came with beef pot roast and a beef broth concentrate, red wine demi-glaze, cremini mushrooms, cipollone onions, mashed potatoes, baby carrots, and rosemary thyme butter. It was so easy to make. Literally like 15 minutes it took Cindy. And let me tell you something, and all the dishes were fire, but this thing was like a taste explosion in my mouth. It's just unreal. We got to spend more time together and more time doing the things we love because everything came in this one single box right to my door. So see what a difference Gobble will make for your household. Right now, they're offering my listeners a fantastic limited time deal. You get $120 off across 4 boxes plus free shipping and free cookies. And let me tell you, those cookies, I ate one that was sin baked and it was delicious. Go to gobble.com/real life. That's GOBBLE.com/real life for $120 off your first 4 boxes. This offer is not available on the home site, so don't miss out. This is genius. It's taste explosions in your mouth like you never had. Spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. The busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible hand-picked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts that spark joy, wonder, delight, and that's exactly what I wanted feeling. Hey, y'all, I ordered a super cool piece. It's a candle with a sculpture of LSU's Tiger Stadium on top of it. And each officially licensed laser cut wooden replica features up to 4 layers of detail, creating a bird's eye view of a specific football field, seating section, and more. And every label includes your stadium's name, the team's logo, and school location. And it has a coconut, soy, vegan wax infused with sandalwood smell that creates tailgates and touchdown scent profile, reminiscent of game day. It's invigorating like fresh cut grass and nostalgic like smoke from a pre-game grill, and calming like the crisp autumn air of a new semester on campus. Y'all, I love it. I have it at the base of my TV, and I'm ready to watch the Tigers play on Saturday night, right? Uncommon Goods. Look, when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. And many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches. So shop now before they sell out this holiday season. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S. They have the most meaningful, out of the ordinary gifts anywhere. They even have gifts you can personalize. From holiday hosts and hostess gift to the coolest finds for kids to hits for everyone from the book lovers to diehard sports fans. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone, not the same old selections you can just find anywhere. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/RLRC. That's uncommongoods.com/RLRC for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary.
Don't give up.
Right.
Keep your information and email it to him.
Yep.
He has so many. I mean, he's dealing with 100,000 people a day.
Yeah.
Putting it on Facebook is not going to get it. You got to email him. So tell him your email address.
It's woody@realliferealcrime.com. And y'all, we have the app.
Please go to the app.
Got TikTok and Instagram and all these things. We got like 7 different Facebook pages, right? And the thing is, the I still try to answer everybody's shit personally myself, but some of these Facebook pages I don't get to like I spend like 12 hours a day on social media.
No, I believe
way
you.
more than I do recording. And I'll happen to go to the Woody Overton public page because my personal one's maxed out, and message I might have 7 messages, and they're like, my mama got murdered on such data. Solve her case. I'm like,
yeah, where, when, what happened?
I never heard of this, and I actually don't watch the news and shit now. Or like, have you heard of this case? I'm like, no, and so I'm trying to come up with a standard reply to get everybody to get that one email. Hey, and you know what? This is a separate. Everybody loves a winner, right?
Right.
And they want you to win their shit too. The thing is, Stephanie Belgrade, Courtney's mama. That family had over 2,000 pages of case file that they had saved over the years.
I've seen it.
That some bitch is the most complete case file I've ever seen.
Yes.
Mary Pusho's family had some photographs, things like that. But the deal being is, if you send me, I swear to you, and no matter how long it takes me, if you send me, and look, I got people, holy shit, mad at me right now. I lost one of my thought was my best friends for 40 something years last week because I didn't work his friend's mama's case, which she got murdered and the guy died in prison or whatever, and I hadn't done it yet, and then they blew me up. I don't know if they were drunk or whatever the fuck, it doesn't matter. But every day I get people that are mad at me because I'm not working their family's case. I'm like, I hadn't got there yet. I got to do it when I can do it, or I don't have enough information.
Right.
So if you're gonna just send me a one-liner saying my boss Tom got murdered in 1991 at the Quick Mart, can you solve his case? Just save your fucking keystrokes.
Right.
If you don't have something to send me,
information.
I don't have time to go dig it up. And it's horrible, man. It's just bad.
And I know you're like me. You want to help everyone, but you don't have.
I didn't know it was called empathetic. The guys, they had a podcast. The big muscle guys, they were Army guys. But anyway, I went on their podcast and interview, and one of the things he said was, he said, "Do you realize that you're empathetic?" I said, "No," and I'd never thought about it. And he said, "You cannot do what you do and solve cases and take these families' pain on yourself if you weren't
oh my
empathetic."
God, so am I though.
Right? So if you can sit in a room and feel other people's pain, I can sit in a room with 100 people, I can tell you who's hurting,
right,
who's sad. It's discernment and empathy. The empathetic part comes as I want to help.
I know.
Right? So you doing the same thing.
I do that all the time, and that's why these cases struck me, and I knew you needed help. There's no way you can talk to 100,000 people and keep up with that. And so the simple questions I answered. And if it was just a funny thing, I answered. So you don't have to.
Let's talk about that. So, y'all, Joshua and I's relationship has developed over the years, but being from, I see it because I read the comments and everything, and then you post a lot of stuff. This is not, it's not Joshua doing it for any other reason other than you're empathetic and you're feeling not only what I'm feeling, and like, this, somebody asks a question.
Yeah, this is not monetary. This is not, I don't work. I work for the people, basically. Right. I knew you needed some help.
Right. And
poor Cindy.
Right.
God bless her.
And there's a few others like Leah Marie and then.
I didn't want to start naming people because you're going to leave somebody out.
Right. Yeah.
All of you are heroes.
Y'all heroes. But the thing is, and y'all, this is all totally raw and unscripted. The thing is, I guess to the point where I have to have that, but then guys now giving us this personal relationship where our wives are hanging out there, we're drinking, and we're just talking behind the microphone, right?
Which it was hard for me to stay away from you, but I knew that it wouldn't be real if we were just like hanging out, and I was taking care of it.
It's like Shane. Shane is now my brother from another mother and everything else, and his wife was a big fan first and everything. And over the years, and you hear me talking about going to Wisconsin is because I know now, like I know about you, this motherfucker's legit, right?
Right.
He doesn't want anything from me. He doesn't want anything, but continuously, like you're doing, shoving shit in my face, like, eat it, motherfucker, take it, just shut up and receive it.
Right.
And you got to be a good
You have
receiver.
to know that what you've done is special. And you're always, what you do is you show people.
I'm getting a beer, people.
Yeah, I mean, you show people what needs to be done, and people have responded. To have that kind of empathy or even care about it, I mean, you could just tell cop stories, right?
Yeah.
You could just tell your cool cop stories and be a podcast.
It hadn't even touched state police years. And people are like, oh, you ran out of stories. But I haven't, but I got to be in a mood to tell those. It's like if you're a minor league ball player and you get called up to the World Series for one game and you do whatever and you win the World Series, and then going back to be a minor league ball player. Because I love to, we built real life, real crime off the old cop stories. And I
True.
get that.
That's how you hooked me in the beginning, because your stories were true and real.
But to me, I did that shit on a dare. To me, solving the cold cases, fuck me. There's nothing more important to me to this day. That's all I ever wanted to do, was help people, and God made it where it happened. And I don't know, bro. That's just gonna come back, and I'll do it. But it's kind of queer sounding because I do like.
Like, how do you come back from the high of what you've done? Yeah. It's almost, but I think people overlook it because in a digital age, like 2 seconds later, they're on to something else. Oh, I know he solved these murders, but whatever. No. Right. Do you understand that nobody on the planet could get this done, and this man did it not once, but twice, and he's still working on one, and one just doesn't have enough evidence, but he still used his platform to tell the story. I
guess the difference is, I'm going to give a shout out to all the cold case detectives out there that are in law enforcement, because I did so many. That's how I made my bones in law enforcement. That very first day, and when I made detective, everybody left, and I could still see the 2 metal filing cabinets in the back room said murder, cold case. And I remember pulling out the first one, which was Janet Benoit. That's the one that Screwdriver Red murdered, his first victim. And long story short, those dudes get it done every day, and they don't have a podcast.
That's also what you made me change the way I feel about law enforcement. I used to think of law enforcement as the guy that pulls me over and gives me a ticket, because that's the only time I ever seen him.
I hate writing tickets, and most 99% of the people never have an interaction in law enforcement unless it's one of the worst moments.
But you guys are heroes too, and you don't get it. You don't have a podcast to talk about it.
Right.
But also, what he did was, after that fails, he made it happen, and so did the lifers. That's why I'm like, I get teared up about it.
Absolutely wouldn't have happened without the lifers. And man, bro, I mean, you got to mention God in this, like absolutely,
some kind of way.
I was about to say, blessed. Whatever deity you pray to, I'm telling you, it's all God, bro. It's all God.
The fact that I'm sitting here by you, like, what's the chances?
Crazy. Man.
We've lived in the same parish for 30 years.
Yeah.
Right? Never met you in my life. But then when I started following you, and then you asked for something. You asked for us to pay attention. You asked for us to email. You asked for us to call.
Right.
And it worked.
They did it, bro.
It
was so stupid.
I did it too. Like, you retarded.
That's great. And most people, I think everybody that actually listened and gave a fuck and did it. You talk about that protest. That was Courtney Coco's case.
Yeah.
So I had done a polygraph in Lafayette, spent the night before, and it was hot, but it was fall time. And I knew we had. People don't know, and I never touted every candlelight vigil. I was guest speaker at for numerous.
They don't know the time and money you spent.
Every march, every every courtroom appearance. I did it because I promised Miss Stephanie I would. And that's
right,
the truth.
you did.
So this is what happened. I did the case, turned it back over to them. They called the family in, and they were like, "Yep, this is correct, and we're gonna make the rest. Give us 2 weeks." Well, fuck. A month went by, 2 months went by. This is the DA told Miss Stephanie.
Right.
The whole family.
I remember.
And finally, Miss Stephanie, I call her Stephanie. Stephanie called me and said, "Woody, they're not doing anything, and he won't return my phone calls and everything else." And she said, "What can we do?" I said, "Well, fucking go protest." Right? Everybody else in the world can
This is
fucking
America.
protest. Let's go protest.
Let's do it.
And so I drove up there, and it's funny. And Ma, I know you're listening. Miss Ida, Courtney's grandmother. Fuck, dude, I got out there. I had a short sleeve shirt on, and it was like fucking 30 degrees. It dropped from the time I went Lafayette to Alexandria, the cold front had moved through. So I'm up there, and I was still losing weight. Time I was fucking shivering. Little Miss Ida has got to be in her, I don't want to say your age, Mom.
Yeah, it's not good. Yeah.
Probably, I know you look like you're 30, but probably 80-something, right? She gives me her jacket. She's like, "You my baby, I'm going to give you my jacket." So when I'm marching holding that sign on News that day, Miss Ida had given me her jacket out of love. But what happened that day was one of the days I did a call to action. I said, "This motherfucker wanted," Stephanie called the office while we were doing the protest. And I know all the lifers want to be there,
Right.
And I know all the lifers want to be there for the court and all that. And a lot of them did show up, but that could. But Stephanie called Philip Terrell's office, and they were like, "Oh, he's out at a funeral." Like, bitch, we got your building surrounded.
Right.
We're marching, He'll give it y'all. He never would come down. And then that's when I said, "You know what? That nice lifers burned out," and they did it. And I don't think you know. I didn't advertise or really talk about this. The fucking trial, the voir dire, it was all about real life, real crime.
You mentioned that he mentioned your name a couple times, but
fuck, he
you solved it, dude.
Yeah, but his whole defense was going to be this podcaster got it wrong. Now, what nobody knows, it went to the Court of Appeals for the first time, and we won, but Stephanie went, and that's one I didn't get to go to. I don't know where I was or whatever, but it was in Lake Charles. And so normally in the Court of Appeals, each attorney gets so many minutes straight up. If they ask you a question, they ask you a question in my senior time. They don't give a fuck. And 95% of them, they won't even hear. All right, but David Anthony Burns got his day in Court Appeals, and they went up there. His attorney got up and said, Hugo Holland was there. He messaged me last week. He actually said his sister from Kansas City, he just found out she's a huge fan. And he and I were at odds in the beginning, and now we're good. I respect the fuck out of him. He's a gangster, OG, badass, fucking best prosecutor I ever saw. But anyway, Hugo did his shit, and they asked a couple questions, and they came back, and they said, fuck him, conviction affirmed, right?
That dude's so guilty, bro.
Yeah, he's guilty.
I mean, but see, that was your key. You couldn't tip off what you had, but you had to keep the lifers engaged. So you were telling a story, but at the same time, not the whole story.
Hey,
that's tiptoeing, bro.
When that douchebag, it was Captain Duvall's Cajun Charters, one of our sponsors back then. He's the best guy ever. He's down in Delacroix. And so I had lifers, had one, his mama was a LOPA, double lung.
That's another
recipient
LOPA, we love him.
Lived for X amount of years. But his wife was a lifer, right? And she told him, whatever. How we became hooked up was that. And he was like, I want to donate a fucking fishing trip. And will you make it a part of the fishing trip that you come down and fish with him? I said, fuck yeah. And Buddy's Barbecue at the time, sent me with a bunch of food, whatever. So that night, I go down and stay at the, whatever the marina's name was. And I had a room by myself, and I wake up always early, especially when we're going hunting or fishing. Normally that's the time I go to bed. And I wake up and I turn my shit off airplane mode because I use the fan noise. my motherfucking phone was going ding, 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 ding. And the only other time it was ever that bad was when I was getting off an airplane in Phoenix, Arizona. Denny Perkins had been arrested, and everybody.
I remember you talking about that. Yeah.
So, but it's going ding, 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 and it was all about fucking David Anthony Burns putting his first Facebook Live ever on. He was, I'm coming for your wallet. And all that bullshit.
That's such a punk.
And they're like, watching him like, this motherfucker. And he's like, yeah, Mr. Woody, this town, my mama always told me this town would make me rich and da-da-da-da. And how you going to put me on a national podcast? And I got Photoshoppies.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I got Photoshoppies. Oh, shit. I don't listen to your podcast, but I pay people. Fuck him.
Yeah.
He's in an angle to get butt fucked right now.
Exactly.
That's exactly where he deserves. But he probably likes that. But.
Yeah, what a douchebag. He really was.
Oh, my God. It's horrible, bro. It's so bad.
There's so much hate in this world and so much evil.
Evil.
This is why when something like you comes along, or these lifers, these people...
It's all total package.
You can't really explain it. When I walked in last year, when we went to the bash, I swear to you, for 5 or 6 hours, I was like a superstar. Everybody talked to me.
Okay, but the thing, I'm going to quantify that for you. I knew that was going to happen. I didn't say anything, but you didn't know because of what you done. And a lot of other ones, too. Not leaving anybody out.
Yeah.
But the OG lifers have stepped up and they get more involved and start doing more posts and doing more stuff, but not because of any other reason than it's in their hearts, but they don't understand. Just like me talking and I grab the lifers' hearts and everything, you're grabbing, and the other ones are grabbing their hearts, and then you walk into the crew bash, all of a sudden you're like, they're all like, hey Josh, that was fire. You said this, and you got balls, and dude, hey, can I get a picture with you?
Oh my God, it was just like that. I felt it felt like pure love, and there was. It's hard to describe.
Right.
It's like a church scene almost, like when somebody's praying over you.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like, and it's kind of a down. The next day, you're well, how do you?
Do you know what I call it? I think I probably talked about this in the podcast. I call it a H&H, a homicide hangover. When you build up in whether it's crew bash, I mean, it doesn't have to be a homicide. Like the crew bashes are a big deal for me because I know that these people were coming in to see
from
me
all over,
and from all over the country and Australia and everywhere else, coming in to see me. And what I do on the stage there is totally different because it's drinking and interactive, but I'm still telling the real shit.
Yeah.
And then we do the lope and everything. When that shit's over, I build myself up to it, even though I don't practice. I build myself up to it, and then when it's over, I almost it's like me solving, even in law enforcement, solving homicides. You're hitting so fucking hard for so long, it's just wide open because I don't know any other way. But then when it's over, and they're gone to prison, I'm like, oh, what do I do now? I get almost depressed.
Me too.
Yeah. So.
But that was what was cool about O'Hara's. Like, it was not so many of us. Mm-hmm. But still, I don't know if you remember, we met somebody that just passed the bars.
The bar.
Yeah, like me and you are the same. We get in a bar room, we meeting people.
Absolutely.
That's the way it is.
The young lady who just passed the bar, the person she was there with was a fucking prosecutor for this ending now. I'm gonna get I get Wichita or whatever. I know exactly where it is. I can tell you every town in the parish, and I've been there. But the Quentin Tellis from Scorched Justice season 1, that's where he's locked up right now. Hey ladies, are you feeling overwhelmed by hormonal changes? Well, you're definitely not alone. There are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living in our environment right now. It's in your food, your water, the air you breathe, the clothes you wear, your skincare products. They all mess with your hormones. Then there's the natural hormone changes your body goes through, premenopause, menopause. And while it's a natural process, it doesn't mean you have to suffer through it. The good news is you don't have to suffer through it anymore because now you have Hormone Harmony, a formula made only with herbal ingredients that are shown to reduce hormonal symptoms in women of all ages. Hormone Harmony is not just a hormone supporting supplement, it's become a phenomenon. Women can't stop talking about it on social media. A bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds. And the biggest benefit? Well, my wife says it makes her feel like her own self again. And that's what women mention over and over in the reviews. And there are over 30,000 reviews for Hormone Harmony. And for a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use code RLRC at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC for 15% off today. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC. Hey, y'all. Changing my wardrobe from summer to fall, it's never easy. Luckily, Quince offers timeless and high-quality items I adore, ensuring my wardrobe stays fresh and I don't blow my budget. And there's nothing easier than going to Quince and choosing these high-quality items, like cashmere sweaters from $50, pants for every occasion, washable silk tops, and so much more. The best part? All Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. By partnering directly with top factories, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes, and I love that. I got the stainless steel Link Apple Watch band for $59.90. It's heavy duty, it's awesome, and it's like $100 less than I could find anywhere else. And I also got a 100% organic cotton fisherman quarter zip up sweater. The color is alabaster. Man, I can't wait to wear that this fall. And Cindy got the Mongolian cashmere boat neck sweater in heather gray. And I'm telling you, these are classic pieces at a fraction of the price. Make switching seasons a breeze with Quince's high-quality closet essentials. Go to quince.com/RLRC for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/RLRC to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/RLRC. You'll thank me later. But anyway, it's where Mother is. But we met them, and he came back to me later at night. He said his daddy is the DA up there. He said, I called my daddy, and he said, that motherfucker's legit. Woody Overton's legit.
Hey, dude, that was like, you are legit. And not only are you legit, your fans are legit.
Yeah, well,
I'm not including myself in this. I'm talking about the love, the appreciation, the respect they show you. Yeah, when you go ahead and speak online, say, hey, I got this cause.
Yeah.
Call. See how far that gets you. Yeah. These people, you hooked them. Yeah. And they not only called, they emailed, they will beat your door down.
They did so much more than I could ever dreamed of, right? And, it's just so stupid. Stupid in a great way, and what we've done. And I don't know where it's going, Josh, but I know it's God's got it, and so much shit. And you try to diversify, and you get into side things like the Daily Show and Bloody Angola,
which everything you do is good in its own right. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you got these lifers have your life in their hands. They really do.
It all got started because of the true shit, right?
And let's reiterate that. Get to the Real Life, Real Crime app. The difference between Facebook and that is it's isolated. And these people are funny.
Hey, nobody controls it but us.
Exactly. Yeah. These people in there are funny. They give you recipes. And it's a family. Like
forums and
not a bunch of pedophiles like running through Facebook.
Every episode. And the great thing about that was, so there's a company called Top Fan. They reached out to us. They did Halle Berry's and the Denver Broncos and all these famous motherfuckers. They built their app for them. We were the first, and at the time, we were the first true crime show to ever have their own app.
Which is expensive.
Is fucking horribly expensive, but it didn't cost us, right?
Okay, good.
They said we want to do this because true crime genre is the number one in the world. And we love your shit, but let us build your shit. But they take a certain percentage or whatever.
Okay.
And I'm like, fuck it, I don't care. But the app was really a good thing because even like the crew page that has 42 or 43,000 members, whatever. But that I get censored on. I used to be in Facebook.
Oh, I know. You're famous, Joe.
Fucking day. But I worry about losing. And I get moderation alerts every day or whatever. I worry about losing that
for dumb things too.
Yeah, it's stupid. And then you always got your haters, right? And guess what? Barbara Blunt's killers, they got family members too, and or they hate me, right?
Right.
David Anthony Burns,
everybody you locked up in your career,
exactly. That's a lot of fucking people.
And their family.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And their friends, they're like, come on, man. And bro, if I had I wish I had a quarter for every death threat and every bad thing,
Which is all the more reason not to do what you've done is become.
Give a fuck.
Right. It's God.
You know what? If they shoot me in the head or something, kill me or whatever, guess what? I'm know where I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be straight. I don't want to go yet because I'm going to see my granddaughter getting born.
That would be nice.
I think we got some more great things to do solving for these families.
Man, if I was totally rich, we could help some people.
Yeah,
that's the only thing. But there's only one of you. We need 10,000 of you for this country.
No, we need.
I see the pain on your page.
I just do. It's not because. Sorry, y'all. It's not. I was doing on the podcast the same shit I was doing when I was in law enforcement.
Right.
The difference is it's on a podcast.
Right.
I actually cannot tell you how many cold cases I've solved in my career when I was a cop.
I would like to know that. That's a good one.
I had to think about it because I block shit out as I pass on, and otherwise I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. Right?
That was another question I had for you. How? Because I pick up all this pain from just these few. And if you get to see this all the time, I don't know how I could function.
The worst part is my OCD is not, and I have full-blown OCD, it's not wash my hands 50 times a day, or sometimes I do double-check the door locks, but I know I like that motherfucker, and then let me go back and check. I won't be able to rest until I go check it, but my OCD, my main thing is never being able to turn my brain off, right? My entire life, I could never sleep and do whatever because this is whatever I'm fixated on, it won't stop. But that helped me solve cold cases like nobody else could solve, or even murders. They didn't have to be cold because if I'm on your case, you're fucked because my brain's never going to stop. I try to make this motherfucker stop, and it won't stop. But at 3:30 in the morning, when I'm half in and half out of sleep, or 4 o'clock, whatever it is, then just genius idea pops in, and I'm like, holy fuck, this is it, right? And because I've worn it out 14 billion ways, a different way, in the I don't know.
You get used to it. You're numb to it now, probably a little.
So, like, I block shit out when I'm done with it until I pass by. That's how the podcast got started. And I'm driving City to the Coast for the weekend, and I passed by someplace I worked a murder at, and I totally forgot about this murder. And I'm like, I was telling the story, and that's when she said, "Everybody loves your voice," and I'm like, whatever, you need to start.
I mean, you do have.
You need to start a podcast, and they love your stories, and you need to start a podcast. I'm like,
were you ever nervous?
I want to start a podcast.
In the beginning,
let me just tell you what.
When you put yourself out there,
I had no idea. I literally said, put on the number one. She said, true crime genre is number one in the world. Put it on. And we're still driving to Beau Rivage and put it on. I was 2 minutes, just turn that motherfucker off. It's boring as fuck to me. That's why I don't watch true crime shows and shit, because it was like going to work. And so when I started it, we went straight to the hotel, and it was on a computer, and none of this high-tech equipment, although this may not sound the best, y'all, but it'll get cleaned up. But when I started it, I just sat down and told the story of Double Clutch, right? And Christina Constance. I'm like, there's a fucking story. Put that bitch out there and see how it went. And God did the rest, right? And the people, I catch a lot of flack talking about God juice. I don't care what you believe in or don't believe in, it doesn't affect me.
Right.
I have a relationship, not a religion. I don't know how to explain that, but I catch a lot of shit because when I'm very vehement about my Jesus. I love him very much. I know it's real. Jesus held me. I died on a table. That's a whole nother story. The thing is, but I curse. I drink. Oh, I'm going to have a sip of a drink now.
Jesus knows.
Toast up real quick. Jesus drank wine, turned water into wine, right? But I'm the biggest sinner in this fucking state, probably. But as soon as I do it, I'm like, oh, please forgive me.
Right.
I'm probably not the biggest sinner, but I'm not a murderer and shit or child rapist or anything like that. But I'm just me. But I'm straight with who I got to be straight with.
Right.
And
I how could my life happen the way it happened and your life
Absolutely.
happen the way it happened and us end up in this room without a God, without a Jesus?
No. Let me tell you something. I've oftentimes thought this, like before you got here today, I was watching, which I never did. I was wanted like a screensaver shit of beaches, so because I'm a water baby, right? And of beaches and shit, and I had it on there, and I was like, how can you look at something so beautiful in I don't care if you're an atheist, but the or whatever, and not believe there's not a higher power
right.
that created all this,
right.
or puts us together and lifers together, Miss Stephanie and Mary Pucho's family and whoever else is
the people you've helped and the people that help them.
Absolutely.
I mean,
but it's everybody,
right?
And that doesn't happen. Then I'll tell you one fucking thing. There's no such thing as a coincidence, especially not when it comes to something like this. I believe that in my heart.
Yeah, and like, I don't like to push religion down people's throat, but you can't tell me that there's not a higher power to help you solve these cases and to make people care.
But it's the people that care that help you solve the ones.
All the lifers again, you're heroes. I'm just telling you.
They are heroes. And the thing, what I was saying is, almost to the point of being rude, how fucking vain do you have to be to believe there's not something bigger at work that puts us all together to do what we do?
Who cares how it has to happen? It happened.
Exactly.
And I believe in God did it. So up to you what you believe.
And we don't care. It doesn't affect me.
Right.
But I'm not going to not say what I believe.
You should never. And I don't think you will, because you kind of like me. You can believe what you want to about me, but I'm going to tell you what I believe.
Exactly. I'm going to tell you what I believe in. And guess what? I'm not going to blow in a fickle wind.
Right.
One day I'll wake up and be whatever the fuck, right? I'm going to be me. That's the only. Hey, I'm 54 years old. It's the only way I know how to be.
Me too, either. Right, wrong, or indifferent, as my dad would say.
Exactly. Let me tell you this, and my mama tells a story all the time. She told it the other day. My dad spent the night with me last week. Him and I, at headquarters. We locked the gate, drank a couple of beers, cooked a big ass steak, and whatever. Whatever. And he slept in the room. And I was like the parent, going in, peeking, making sure he was okay. And when I tucked him in bed, I said, "You want taco or burrito, Daddy?" And I tucked him in. And he's elderly now, but smarter than fuck. The 48-year trial lawyer. But she tells the story. So we were in Houston, and I think my mama was having like a triple bypass or something, or my daddy was having something, whatever the fuck, it doesn't matter. So we're in Houston in Ritz-Carlton or something like that, and I always wear real life real crime shit, right?
Right.
Some of my shirts on the back say "Murder by You" or whatever, different sayings. The fans like the lifers coin, Woodyism is that lifers coin, because I didn't coin, I just say shit, right? So we're sitting. We're getting breakfast before we go to wherever, doctor's office, what have you. And this is fucking ritzy as fuck.
Right.
And there's this old guy. I saw him when he came in and he sat at the table beside us. And I got a T-shirt on, right? A Real Life Real Crime T-shirt saying on the back. And another guy comes in and they join them. And then me and my mom and dad done eating. I think my mom came down just after us. And my dad, I was bringing back up to get him straight before we go to the appointment or whatever, so we leave. My mama said, the old man at the table next said, well, that's a hell of a saying on the back of his shirt. Well, my mama thought the saying was murder by you. And she said, Mama Bear. And she gets up, she goes to the table, and she said, I just want to tell y'all that he has a podcast, and he solves cold cases on the podcast. She thought the back of the shirt said hashtag murder by you.
Right.
And she said, so that's what it meant. And the guy said, well, you certainly have to think that that's an interesting saying. These are rich motherfuckers.
Right.
And then she saw me when I came out the elevator, and they guess what the saying was on the back of the shirt.
Oh, my God. What?
Sugar's turning to shit.
I thought eat a bag of dicks. That was my first
I actually
thought.
don't have one that said
Okay,
that.
well.
But it was sugar's turning to shit. She loves to tell that story. And she said, and I saw
that was so
like,
good.
Oh, my God. You know, my mom being a lawyer and all that. But anyway, I don't know. What do you want to name this episode?
Whatever.
We got to name it something before we get off. This is going to be the first of many.
Lifers.
Great.
I would call it lifers because that's what it's about. I'm here for them.
That's it. Let's call it lifers. And with guest Joshua Ebarb. And the deal being is, this, I swear to you, in my entire 6 years of doing podcasts, is the first time I've ever sat down and drank beer and hung out and just talked about stupid shit.
This is what they want, though.
Yeah.
They want the real life, real crime, and this is it.
Well,
I'm glad we got a chance to thank them because they're so important.
Everything. Yeah. So before we came in here, we were in the pool, and you said, Woody, you say it every show, how much you love and appreciate every one of them. It almost becomes like background music.
Right.
But you know that I mean it. And you said, I want, and I was like, oh, don't tell me what you're going to say. But so thank you for bringing that out. And you know what? All lifers are the heroes.
They are.
None of this would happen. None of the cases would have got solved. None of this shit would have none of it would have happened had they not taken up the call to arms and taken these,
which is amazing, right?
Victims like they're family members,
right?
And I always say that. So it could be your mama, it could be your sister, or
that's the way I see it too. Yeah. Especially when I seen those photos.
Yeah.
And then I thought about somebody whipping my mama like that to death, and then nobody caring.
Nobody cared.
You care. And I care.
I did. Yeah. And the lifers care.
And the lifers care. And thank you guys. You are heroes. For real. I'm not playing with you.
One of you are heroes, right?
Yeah.
And then, so let me ask you this. Anything you want to add or take away?
I'm good with it. I wanted to project love.
Right.
I wanted people to see Woody. Instead of the corporate Woody, or the one you gotta tell a story, right?
Tied down by the shit. Then just look, y'all, we're making that old shit disappear and go back to other. When you turn to business side of business things, it gets all fucked up.
But see,
not because I have not my fault, because I believed in a motherfucker or I didn't believe in whatever the fuck in contracts and all this bullshit that I hate. Right. I would rather kick myself in the nuts 10 times a day than deal with one of these things that I've had to. But it's a learning process. One of these things I had to deal with. You know. So
last statement for me. Mm-hmm. Help this thing grow. Share, like, appreciate, comment.
Yeah.
With your help, who knows, he could solve 2 more.
Right.
And you're already heroes. Why not keep going?
That's fire, bro. And that I totally believe that. Also, I get like imprints, and I know it sounds crazy as fuck, but I get like imprints. So, but also God led and everything that I do, when I choose to sit down and record, I know it's got to be right. I know that sounds stupid, but I also know there are cases coming, or there are cases that I'm already looking at that we're going to bring to attention to lifers, and we're going to solve them. And I can't say which ones, because I don't know, right, the end result. But I can tell you this, we're going to start telling these stories. Some of these families, They just want their shit to be put out there. If it never gets solved, like the Womack story, they like it's always been an accident. But now they're investigated as homicide, even though
you got it done, bro.
Honest,
but they were never.
And we're honest. We're like, okay, we agree. This should be investigated as a homicide, but it's never getting solved. I mean, 20 years later, however long.
Now imagine that times probably 100,000 in just our state, and then America. Now that's how many people he could possibly reach, and that's how many people are reaching out to him.
We can reach.
It's up to you. You're the one that drives this thing, not Woody. Woody's only trying to direct traffic and get you to focus on what you need to focus on. It's your job to help.
Yeah. And I'm going to say this, and this is the truth. I don't want to say I tried to do too many things because I did everything with pure intentions, but the getting away from the base thing, even the old cop stories and starting other podcasts like the Daily and all that, I don't have any real regrets about it other than now I think that, you know what, I could have spent that time working on somebody else.
Like I said, if I was rich, I'd give you $1 million, and we would do the deal. We would do exactly what you did for these people, for everyone.
And I just quit. But just like you and all the lifers stepping up and putting their energy in the way that they could, right? The calls and the emails and the sharing the posts and doing whatever. Every case I've ever worked, and I say the family, victims' families, come my family stuff, it takes a piece out of me.
I know. It takes a piece out of me because empathetic. Here we go back to that.
You're right. Absolutely correct. It takes a piece out of me, and I'm like,
how many pieces do you get?
Then you're like, do I do this? Like on Mary Post's case, but
thank God you did.
I know, and it was my wife's fault again. But she was so well known and liked. I had all these lifers kept messaging me. Can you look at this? Can you look at this? Because it wasn't that old, like eight or 9 months.
Right.
Can you look at this? Can you look at this? I'm like, fuck you. I just got done with Courtney's. I got a fucking homicide hangover. I got whatever. And then finally, Mama Karen Ortolano said, I got to listen.
Like she's awesome.
Mamas, and she said, Woody, will you please at least talk to the sister? And I said, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to do that. But I wasn't going to just placate her, but I had no intentions of working the thing. When I talked to her, and she was telling me the shit, and she said, I got a picture that I'm not supposed to have, and I said, well, send it to me. And she sent it to me, and I immediately, I said, can I call you back? This is late at night. It's like 10:30 at night or something. And I got off and I showed it to Cindy, and that's when she said, how can you not use your platform, your lifers, and your God-given skills and your experience in law enforcement to solve this
If
case?
you do nothing else, you've done these things.
She said, how can you not take this fight on your fighter? And I called her back, and I said, schedule a meeting with the family, right? Whatever.
Wow.
Anyway, I love you. Thank you for being here. I can't wait. I'm so glad that we had O'Hara's last weekend. We had the friendship anyway, but now we're hanging out together at the house, right? And there's nobody else here. I mean, I got my daughter and her fiance and my son and my wife and your wife. That's it. Oh, we probably need to go check the shit on the pit because I had WL running.
That's
checking
true.
It. We've been smoking meat since 7 o'clock this morning, y'all. It's Memorial Day weekend. Remember, Memorial Day is about the people who died. Veterans Day, everybody gets confused.
I know, they do.
But Veterans Day is another day. This Veterans Day should be appreciated. I'm a veteran. But this is about the people who died. Horrible deaths, most of them. In war, there's no great death like
right.
A war. They died. They sacrificed Some
just so we could do this.
all give
this
some,
very
some
thing.
give all. That's it. And so that's what this weekend's about. And y'all going to get this next weekend anyway, so it doesn't matter. But we're smoking meat because those people, and we're hanging out, drinking a beer, drinking a drink, talking on the podcast because those soldiers, men and women, died so we could do this. Hey, if they hadn't won World War II, we'd just be speaking Japanese and German right now.
100%.
Right? So I probably be a little bit better than you because you got Indian. I got some.
Right.
Just fucking with you.
49.1% or whatever.
They was the oldest motherfucker in Germany.
Yeah.
I have to pull that report out one day. But I want to thank you so much, and it'll be the first of many because this episode is fucking fire. But I tell you, the best ones I ever did when you get done talking, you won't be able to remember. You know the overall scheme of what you talked about, but you don't want to remember. You can be like, listening, be like, holy fuck, I said that, but it's fire. So, love you to death. Thank you so much. Let's go back and join our wives in the pool and have another drink and smoke some more meat. So I'm gonna let you bring this one home. So I'm gonna say, fuck that. We gotta go back. LOPA, Louisiana Organ Procurement Agency. That's some heroes, bro.
They are.
Bro.
And I got to meet, I forget her name, but.
Mrs. Jewell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. See, these are the kind of things that happen at your bash. Like the
holy
what,
fuck,
the,
how special is that?
Jesus.
And then I got to, this is one of 1,000 of these stories, and I got to hunt. I got to sit in the fucking blind with this kid that got her son's organs.
Jesus
and we're in Wisconsin because McAllar Whitetail Adventures, and I got to guide him on a hunt. Right, we got to drink beer together, and I got to skin his animal out for him and everything else. He's alive because another kid, the day he got his driver's license, said, "Mama, I think I want to be an organ donor." And
save a life.
Missy is a nurse, and she said it was totally unsolicited, and she's like,
Such
"I think
sweet
it's a
lady.
great thing."
Oh my God,
oh my God, she's awesome, and so LOPA, Louisiana Organ Procurement Agency, y'all nonprofit. They help facilitate the families and the heroes and everything else. But you don't have to be a lifer from Louisiana. You can be a lifer from, you got to give me a country, city, whatever you want.
Germany.
All right, there you go. All right. See, you could be a lifer from Germany. Go to lopa.org. Fill out the little questionnaire. It's like 2 minutes, and give the gift of life, sight, and all that great shit that they do. So I'm your host, Woody Overton, Real Life, Real Crime, the podcast. Until next time or ever,
don't let me catch you on Murder by You.
Peace.
Peace.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have a right to an attorney prior to or during any question. If you can't afford one, the court will appoint one for you. Do you understand your rights?